Good evening, everyone. How is everyone this evening? Once again, we are continuing our blind playthrough of The Outer Worlds. I'm hoping I can finish it, at least the main story part of it, before the first. I realize that doesn't give me a whole lot of time, but I've decided to once again take part in National Novel Writing Month. For those of you who don't know, it's a nano, NANOWRIMO.org. NationalNovelWritingMonth.org. Basically, you write a 50,000 word novel in the span of a month. Basically, it's your zero draft. It's basically you just barf words onto a page and then you spend the next year editing and revising. Or at least that's what you're supposed to do. I've won it twice. I have yet to go back and actually successfully edit any of these stories. The first one I finished. I went back and started editing it, and it ended up 30,000 words and nothing like the original. The second one, I entered into a contest and was in the runners-up category for getting published. But I haven't gone back to that one either because I'm not sure what to do with it. But this year I've got a pretty intriguing premise, so I'm going to give that a shot. But you guys aren't here to hear me babble on about writing in an amateur way, so let's get gaming. If you're wondering why I'm wearing the headset around my neck, it's really simple. I got another 2 piercings in my ear today, and my wife just kindly dyed my hair a amazing shade of red. So I don't want to mess up either. Oh, cool. Excellent. We're picking up right from where we left off.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Who's Thomas? I don't see anybody with the name Thomas.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Ah, Thomas. Let's go talk to him.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Yep,
Are you,
smooth.
Are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start learning.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old
Already got it.
community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Today's your lucky day, Thomas.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 2, founded at the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Let you know if I find any others.
I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
Want to ask you
What's on
something?
your mind?
How long?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I should go. It's getting awkward. Let's use the workbench. I got mods. Ooh, make it a plasma assault rifle. Hehehe. Sorry. A little bit of mad scientist there. It's already got sure grip. Still don't know how to tinker. Oh, my toys are breaking. There we go. Got a lot of stuff I could break down too. Whoa. Let's just go to the top. Another LMG, jeez. Just fixing everything up. Cool. Guess I can scrap them too. There we go. Interesting. Here we go. Now, let's find this missing girl. Alright. Where did this girl live? This house, okay. Alright, so I guess I'll read it out loud. Zoe's journal, page 12. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back on this journal, back to this journal many years hence, and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the Vale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much Adrenatime. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of Adrenatime and suddenly you're committing larceny. Actually, yeah, you steal drugs, you're committing theft. What other clues?
Okay, gone quiet.
She likes schlocky movies. Ooh, what's this? Zoe's journal, page 18. Good news, I'm alive. Starting to feel a little better, too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food. Or something that passes for food, anyway. Adelaide's boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an aether wave, so I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marketeer, What Would I Do Without You? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a cadre of marauders. A band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14? The 100 Hooligans featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen? Bit melodramatic. People watching this stream in the future are probably seeing me zip past stuff and going, oh, wait, wait. And I'm just oblivious. Zoe's journal, page 22, and it sounds like this is the important one because I just heard the quest thing. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were more organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. I got some Adrenatime too. Everybody loves Adrena time, even Marauders, right? I got odds those Marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes of Adrena time before their eyes. This is going to be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm going to have a whole gang of Marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Well then. Silly little girl's probably gone and got herself killed. Chicken. Okay. Guess the canids are dead because they came too close to the base? Good, I can fast travel there. Oh, that's telling me there is a workbench. So the canids aren't bothering with the bandits. Why? Oh, because it's a tamed canid. Okay. Misplaced a bandit. I think he's behind something. Yep, there.
Here we go. Well, that's gotta hurt. Here we go. Got 'em all.
That was neat. He turned to ash. He's an asshole. Sorry. Yeah, because that sounds not ominous. It's a ship. Alright. That was far easier than it should have been. More marauders. Three or four of them. Oof, bit of a cough. I would love a proper scope on this thing.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Well, now you do. Ooh. There's a bounty. I think I just scored some armor too. Okay, this is like a little settlement here. Wrong button. Who did I just pick up? 16 armor. There you go. Can't even tell that's a lady in there.
Something you need? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
I've not lately seen a man with a more bigger or obvious crush.
I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
Alright, so an awful lot of them came out of here.
Nice.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
Oh boy. You're Zoe? Your people are looking for you.
What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I need you to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
Are you a prisoner here?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
I'm impressed. How'd you pull it off?
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable.
Mouthpiece.
Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Why'd you leave the camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Something else, actually.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Damn. I'll be back.
I wish I could do that.
Ooh, pristine items. Don't imagine a frozen dinner's any good after sitting out for heaven knows how long.
Got it. Heads down.
Don't know why I'm up here, but yeah. Ow. Yeah, I went and concussed myself again. Ooh, another building I can access. More goodies. I think next playthrough I'm not going to put as much into, like I'm not going to put bonus points into, or starting points into strength. Because, yeah, I have yet to run into a capacity limit for carrying things. Mind you, for all I know, I'm still at, like, the tutorial part of the game. No idea how long this game's going to be. This house is clear. Yeah. No idea how to convince her to come back.
Ever consider the Marauder life? It's pretty sweet.
Alright, here we go. The hell do we get out of here? Can we only get out by the road? I guess.
What is it? I'll
Got
tell you what I
questions about
can.
Zoe.
Well,
well,
enough
do you
to
know
know
her?
we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
You seem personable.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. What is it?
It's a powered fence of some kind that I don't remember being there. Oh, it's the geothermal plant. I haven't been here.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Unexpected. Security patrol
Here they come!
finished.
I'm ready for this.
The hell did Parvati go? She's aggressive. To a level of insanity. There she is.
The control room should be ahead somewhere.
Fully expecting hostiles.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
Road searching.
Here they come! Nice one! Get past that armor! That's the last of them! Oh, you got that?
Messages. From Spacer's Choice to Emerald Vale Development and Oversight to J. Braden. Subject, get it together. Miss Braden, this letter serves as an informal notification of our company's displeasure toward your management of the Emerald Vale geothermal plant, for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your latest quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right, but a privilege. Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant. Nice. From J. Braden to Spacer's Choice to Emerald Vale Development and Oversight. Subject, no need for a reprimand. To the esteemed members of the Emerald Vale Development and Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who are unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of Emerald Vale has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agricultural and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere near close to profitable, the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. Regards, Juno Braden, Manager. From Spacer's Choice, Emerald Vale Development and Oversight to J. Braden. Subject regarding no need for a reprimand. Miss Braden, we have investigated the claims made against the profitability of the greater Emerald Vale region. Our offices agree with you. Agriculture and fishing/canning have experienced a steady decline, while the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, and more efficient geothermal plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is a standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of auto mechanicals free of charge. Yeah, and we see how that turned out.
Clever.
Ooh, riot control helmet. Oh. but it's blue. Bolter pistol. Ooh. Continue searching this floor. Power generators. Power control room. I'll come back and play with that in a minute. Wow. Not sure how there was any hide for me to pick up. Stimulation. Geothermal security access. Unlocked door. Authorization passcode. There we go. Personnel files. Log 079. Geothermal Security Office. Personal log S. Tanaka, Chief of Security. Chester Higgins again, that hull head, found him fiddling around with one of the mechanicals, so I had to write him up for tampering with company property. Just in case I'm reading this a couple days from now and feeling bad for what I've done, let me remind myself that I've warned him before. He has always been a little crooked in the skull. He was working on some logic module. I confiscated it. Should be in my lockaway room for the foreseeable future. Personal log, Chief of Security. Doesn't sit right with me. Company's been replacing our guards with auto mechanicals. At this rate, I'm going to end up the Chief of Security with no staff. Just a small army of mechanicals knocking about, guns pointed every which way. Company tells us they're safe, programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but auto mechanicals never will. I don't know, doesn't sit right with me, but the company's never been wrong before, I suppose. Worst has happened. Mechanical's gone crazy. Locked myself down here, just trying to gather my courage. Gonna make a mad dash for the control room. Might be able to shut things down. Will delete this entry if I ever return. Oh boy. Greetings, Security Chief S. Tanaka. This is an automated message initiated by Spacer's Choice Worker Safety Contingency Protocols. A security lockdown has been initiated. This is not a test. Your behavior during this lockdown will be reviewed during your quarterly audit. Anxiety is a common side effect of life-threatening situations engendered by the security lockdowns. Fight back against the anxiety with an ice-cold bottle of Zero G Brew. Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. That's actually a pretty good tagline. What's the light?
Great work.
Gonna need a lot of stuff to get through that door. And that's the door that the good stuff's behind. Okay.
System.
Incoming! That's the last of them.
Little blue spot. I remembered. Oh, dude. Ooh, that was a silencer. There's something in here moving.
Halt. Beginning security patrol.
Here they come!
System.
That's the last of them!
Spacer's Choice found a flaw in you. Flaw tutorial. During your adventures, things may happen to your character that can trigger a flaw offer. Taking a flaw is optional, but doing so provides you with a perk. The choice is yours. Auto mechanicals now give you the willies. When they're attacking your party, you're not as effective as you should be. Dexterity -1, perception -1, temperament -1. Sure. Wow, I don't know what to pick. You know what? Yeah. Broken vending machines, another body.
Go away, Phantom!
Somebody's alive here?
No, 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 just leave me alone! No, 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 just leave me alone!
Nicely done.
Cool.
Mind the scene. You're liable to get scalded.
Huh.
Processing.
I don't know what these switches are doing, but I'm throwing them anyway.
Unexpected noise identified. Halt. Sweeping B area.
Dude was headless. At this point, I don't even know where I'm going. Yeah. Chester's passcode. Security chief did not make it out. I need to find somebody named Chester. Oh, I'm back here. Neat.
Go away, Phantom! Get away! No, just leave me alone. Go away, Phantom! You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram!
A little bit unhinged. Wasn't trying to startle you. Most people don't see me coming.
Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
You're not imagining me.
Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
Right. What is it you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon.
I'll be right back.
I've come a
never
long
mind.
way for
He got
someone
his
who
head
started
out.
off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You were an engineer?
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
If you worked on these mechanicals, you must know a way to stop them.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
I can deal with the mechanicals.
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Alright. Mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module. Someone tampered with it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Sweet. Any idea where I can find a logic
Funny
module?
thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module.
I'll excuse myself. Engineering Volume 3. I don't know that there's many mechanicals left to make shoot at each other, but you know. Modify behavior. Accessing behavior modification. Automechanical behavior mode. Guard mode. Guard mode targets. Intruders. Select new targets. Automechanicals in this facility have been mandated to target intruders. Any attempt to alter this setting is punishable by company law. Your infraction has been noted in your permanent record. Please see your supervisor for a reprimand. Define intruders. All persons or entities not identified as property of Spacer's choice. Would you like to modify the definition of intruders? Yeah, define intruders as Spacer's choice automechanicals. Fun. Return to root. Select new mode. Error. Yep, okay. That's all I could do. Okay. Yep. Access repair log 0012. I didn't even leave the screen. Repair bay, mechanics log 12. Corporate just sent a team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all of our mechanicals. Every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say so, but doesn't this run contrary to Spacer's Choice mission of being as cheap as possible? Just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be a part of the Spacer's Choice family. Spacer's Choice is the leading brand of affordable sundry across Halcyon. It's the best choice. It's the Spacer's Choice. Mechanics log 20. I just finished a routine maintenance on our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to their logic modules. I haven't had time to run a diagnostic, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is that these modifications were introduced in our recent refit. The company went through the trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plant not long ago, guessing this was the work of those visiting technicians. I filed a report, but my supervisor told me not to worry about it, said the company knew what it was doing, ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications to the logic modules. Decided to do a bit of sleuthing myself. Got my hands on a module. Time to do a little experimentation. Yeah. Okay, so I came through here. down this way yet. I'm going in circles. I've been here. Okay. Ah, security chief's keycard. That's the ticket. Mr. Ouch. Whoa, extendo site. Got me the logic module. All right.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Something you need?
Talk later.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Wouldn't mind hearing your
I don't think
opinion.
you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
The deserters are a community. I can't just
Miss
destroy what
McDevitt's
they
built
built.
something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers in power.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Glad you did.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Decision. I'm gonna save. Plant status. It's operating at 22% efficiency. Yep, continue. Good. I'm going botanical. She's probably going to hate me now. Cool. Interesting. Can now pickpocket. Nice. 25% more bits. Always nice. Okay.
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people.
Let's go see. Lots of bypass shunts. That's nice. Somebody's wiped this terminal. Interesting. Ah. Can't open these doors. Kinda hoping there was a switch here. Those aren't doors. Are they? Ah, I see. $500 bits, not bad. travel to Edgewater. Weird. Still lots of people here.
Hello? Are you still there?
The power's out in the whole town. Pipe down.
I can't possibly cut anyone's hair in the dark. Go ahead.
Got questions for you. You seem pretty
Edgewater has been good
enthusiastic.
to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
What do you know about the
The
plague?
plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
What are the symptoms?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
Why don't you treat all the
Company
workers?
policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
Whose idea is that?
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
That's all. Made the right choice.
Cannery's gone quiet. Never thought I'd see the day.
Hey. Huh?
We don't get a lot of visitors.
Power's gone. Law knows how long. Looking to get drunk? Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. Plague got you feeling woozy? Get yourself boozy with Spacer's Choice.
Oof. Just
Go
felt like
ahead.
chatting. What's your story?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
I'm not trying to judge you, just curious.
You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. But I don't have a story to share. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations, and I've lived in Edgewater just about all my life. Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. Would you believe it? That was a wild fancy. Glad I disabused myself.
Sounds like Spacer's Choice took care of you. Nah. You had a dream of being a scientist? What happened?
What happened, you ask? What always happens when you're dreaming? I woke up. I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. So I did the right thing and worked the life I was always meant to live. Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Like, when are you gonna pay your tab? And would you like another round of cold, refreshing Zero-G?
Asking questions is the foundation of science.
Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years disabusing myself of that notion. Don't need you putting it back in my head. Lab work ain't for me. Never was. Never will be. Spacer's Choice put me where I belong, and for that, I am grateful.
Thanks for the story.
Not so fast. I told you about my life. Your turn to tell me about yours. So, what's your story?
Still trying to figure that out myself.
What's there to figure out? Stands to reason you work for a company. You ain't Spacer's Choice. Could be you're with Auntie Cleo.
That's right. I'm with
Don't see
Auntie
what a
Cleo.
Cleo worker's doing in Spacer country. Trying to eyeball the competition, are we? Well, good luck trying to figure yourself out. Sounds like you'll need it.
What if I told you I just got shot into space by a crazy scientist?
Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum.
Wish it was a joke.
Most folk forget where they're standing after a few drinks. Seems to me you've got a head start. Anyhow, whatever happens outside the walls is not my business. Only deserters and marauders wander out there, and I cannot tell you which I revile more. My world is these four walls, that door, and a row of mugs that need cleaning.
Well, sounds like you're afraid to go
Let me
outside.
make something clear. Spacer's Choice has been real good to me. The town's been real good to me. I start gallivanting around outside the walls, poking around in places I shouldn't be, learning things I've got no right to know. People will talk. Won't ever catch me asking about the world outside. Else the town's gonna say Amelia's gone soft. That Amelia's pondering desertion. I don't want that.
I think it's a mistake.
There you go with that thinking again. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's dangerous? I've said enough. People come here to drink their problems away. If they wanted to face their problems, they'd go see our vicar.
I should go.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
To teach you a lesson.
Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me.
Adelaide's got the right idea.
Adelaide wants nothing more than to see this town suffer. To see me suffer. All you've done is satisfied her hatred. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
What's going to happen to Edgewater?
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
Sorry for all this.
Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
Wow, that's a big bump.
Look out!
I'm gonna get in the face!
Guess he won't go stand trial.
What was that?
Here they come!
See how they're doing up here. Weird. Upstairs.
Nice one!
Faux windows, cute. Oy vey.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
I got them all.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Well, don't keep me in suspense.
The Elusive Part 3.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Oh, bless me. Sorry. Cool. Cool. Letting my cat up. Give me just... He's still not in my lap. He's just being he's being a cat.
Ever consider the Marauder life? It's pretty sweet. I'm great at clarifying. I've got all the time in Halcyon.
Yep, nothing I can talk to her about. Going to my ship. Ew. Good. Parvati came with me.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post.
Those deserters left Edgewater behind.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
You just met me. Why would you want to go into space with a stranger?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I never got along with Mr. Thompson, but I don't think he deserved to die. He tried to do his best.
Vale's better off
I
without
don't
him.
know about that. Mr. Thompson wasn't an evil man. He wasn't given to violence. Though if Miss McDevitt were here, I wager she'd agree with you. I had my misgivings about Miss McDevitt and the deserters, but you took pity on them and sent power to their garden even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And well, I want it.
Pick a cat and it's yours.
I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Alright, let's get on board. Vicar should already be here.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
You're fast.
Weird picking my own lockers. Time to go put that power regulator in.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do
Excuse
for you,
me?
Captain?
I've installed the
Our
power
systems
regulator.
are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here. That doesn't look very good. Against all odds, the Unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Good. I've been wanting to hear from him.
There you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Can't I land somewhere outside Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly.
Said I need a nav key.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly.
Right. The Black Marketeer.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
All right. I'll work with it.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
I'll put it to good use.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. I'm in space.
Remember, items in the hold may shift during takeoffs and landings.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen will be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
What do you
It's in
think
pretty
of the
good
ship?
shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
It's a
So
ship's
you're gonna
AI.
call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
What do you think, Parvati? Is it safe to fly?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Did you learn your trade from your father?
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
I don't see the humor.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But you're good at this and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
After school?
Nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Did you get much time with your dad?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Break time's over. I know this is the long way.
The ship used to be much quieter.
Hello, Captain's Quarters. The holographic shroud projects a disguise on you and your companions that gives you access to restricted areas, provided that you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise would result in being attacked on site. Obsidian Skull. Forged under pressure, this decorative skull is carved from volcanic rock. Sometimes, when faced with a choice, the only proper response is to annihilate the people asking you to make it. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Hawthorne's unread. From U Bedford. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message. Silly me. I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Wink, wink. Logs. Yeah, you know what, folks? It is 5 a.m. I am going to call it a night here. And I will catch all of you in the wee hours tomorrow. Thank you for watching my stream or watching the recordings afterwards. Good luck. Thank you, and Godspeed. Oh, cool. I can equip him now, too. Alright. Nope, I gotta log off. Have a good night.